before we skip to my first question, like commoditized energy, like I use that as well, and I love that, and I think it kind of ties in to when people say like, oh, Bitcoin is not backed by anything. Is this the answer to that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. People don't understand the basic concepts of business. I mean, you start a business to make a profit, right? So a lot of people in this zero interest rate policy, it was about getting customers. The bottom line was not as important as the top line because the money was cheap, basically free for the big corporations. So capture as many customers as you can because one day later we're going to monetize them. Well, that's not really how it works in an economy where rates are where they're supposed to be. And they're still too low for where they need to be right now. But as they correct, what we'll see is that companies become more focused on the bottom line rather than the top line. It's not about customer acquisition. It's about quality of product and profit. And profit drives the whole economic engine. So if you're in business and you have a cost, it should be common sense that you can't offer your product or service for less than the cost, right? Because then you have no profit. You're better off just closing down your business and getting a job because at least you'll make money for your time and energy. But if you run a business that can't run a profit, what are you doing? Well, the bottom line where you determine your cost versus your profit, that is what drives the whole decision-making processes for producers. So these laws of economics, these are natural laws of economics that apply directly to running a business. And it's no different for Bitcoin. You know, the cost to produce a Bitcoin, if I'm mining Bitcoin and it costs me $20,000 to mine a Bitcoin or earn a Bitcoin, I'm not going to sell it to you for less than 20. I can't. The laws of business say that if I sell that for less than 20,000, I'm going to go out of business.
It's a bad
right?
business.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. The natural laws of economics and the business cycle are what back Bitcoin as commoditized energy in the form of money. That's absolutely the answer to people who say it's not backed by anything.
And to maybe try to simplify that, like, is that I tried this in a tweet, right? Like anything people create, anything, a service, a product, a building, a car, or whatever, even jobs that require thinking, you expend a certain amount of energy or you utilize that in a certain way, right? And as you mentioned, like the concept of a business is that you, by putting in value, you create value, and what someone pays for you, pays for that value, basically, or well, you put in energy, you create value, someone else pays with energy as well, or something that represents value, right? And if you run a good business, the thing they pay is more than what they get. Exactly.
And if it's not, then that is actually the free market price signal telling you, that's the marketplace telling you, hey, the value proposition of your good or service is not good enough. So you're not solving a big enough problem for me. In other words, the demand isn't going to be there. So the company can't charge a price that's above the cost. So as price falls below cost, that's the marketplace's natural signal to the producer that you should redistribute or reallocate your resources and focus on something where profit can be generated. So the lack of profit is how the market signals to producers reallocate, redistribute resources, and figure out a better product or service that's going to solve a bigger problem of mine that I'm willing to pay for a price above the cost.